What up YouTube, this is Fan3 here. I'm going to show you a deck profile for Chaotic Germs, and yeah, most of you probably are just like, what the hell is Chaotic Germs? It's Chaos Sorcerer, Chaos, and then Genix and Worms, that's where the germs come from, Chaotic Germs. Um, so, a lot of people have been, everyone's asking, hey, what do you run? Chaotic Germs. What is that? Then I tell them the same thing, they don't understand it. And they're like, well, how does it play? The thing is, it just runs on its own, I guess. I mean, it's not like, oh, Tengu attack and stuff. Like, some guy, like, figured out that I was making this or something. I don't know. But I swear I made this build completely on my own. And some guy just, like, makes the same, pretty much the same build, but puts Tengus in there. And, I don't know, it just pisses me off. Anyway, so here's my build. Yeah, cool looking map. And more or less. Anyway, so here's what I run in my monsters. Oh, god dang it, can you not see that? 3 Birdman. This card is the source of the deck. If you don't have one in your hand, try it as fast as possible to get one in your hand. You need at least one in your hand. 2 Birdman, Thunderbird, sorry. Partner in crime to Birdman. He goes back to the hand and gets summoned, so he's a Birdman's butt buddy, and he's my only way of sinking for 6 and exceeding for, level 3 rank. Blast Fan, a card I used to think was crap, I now main 3. He gets Birdman to my hand, and he's good for Arcanine Magician. 3 Worm Zex. Because if you're going to run 1, you might as well run 3. And, pretty good attack. He's a light monster. And he's best friends with the 3 Yangans I have, who are kind of anti-meta, because they're like, oh, Zex get Yangan, Yangan's face down the field, right? Like, bam. And then they know that this is going to put him back into their hand. They didn't know it's Compulse. So it just like freaks them out and stuff. I tech in a Sangan, gets me my Birdman or Thunderbird when I need it. Can also give me a few other cards, which I'll show you later. Summoner Monk. I kind of want to get him out, but for some reason he always... I tried to replace him, he does not want to be replaced. He's just good. Sometimes, like, okay, pretty much I get him out, get out Blast Fan gets Birdman, and I sink for 7 because I can Birdman on the field. The only question is when I have this and Blast Fan on the field, I don't know who to bounce back into my hand. I still have yet to figure that out. It usually just happens to if I have Dark Sun Morgan in my hand or something. 2-Dimensional Alchemist, because this card can get back my Yangans, can get back my Birdman. If I side a DD Crow or something, if I side Battle Fader, he can get it back. And he actually won today. I'm proud of him. 2 Chaos Sork, because 3, for some reason, I don't know why, but it's just overkill in this deck. And then 1 is just, I never draw it, so 2 is a good fit. Cyber Dragon, because I'm not afraid to get Chimera attacked because I only have 2 machine monsters in this deck. This and Birdman. So I can always Chimera attack them, and it's always good. And then there's Dark Samorg, who pretty much locks them down if they don't have any face-on back row or something. I mean, it doesn't like completely lock down, but he kind of like limits their ability to do anything. Next I'm going to go to Spells, and I put 3 Divine Wind of the Mist Valleys in this deck. You might be wondering why. It's because I have an OTK. I will show you the OTK later, and this card sometimes helps in other ways. Mind Control. If you don't run one, then why you better have a good reason for not running Mind Control. Mind Control wins games. Pot of Avarice, because I put a lot of shit in my grave, I guess. Dark Hole, staple. Book of Moon, practically a staple. one MST. The reason I don't run more is because in this format, it's mostly just like Psalms and stuff in their back row, and as much as I want to get rid of those, I don't have anything to replace it with. I'll just rather just Heavy Storm, which I run one of them as well. So, one Heavy, one MST. Instant Fusion can pretty much get you back your, can get you whatever you want actually, whatever sync you want. Because you get Birdman out, you get that out, or you can Exceed, you know, blah blah blah. And then Monster Reborn staple. Alright, now for traps, I run 2 Call the Haunted. This card helped me once in a thing because someone veilered me, and I actually used this to win me back. Plus, it's a good card. It's like a Monster Reborn. It could be the way to turn if it's destroyed, you know. Oh, it's not really a Monster Reborn, but you get the point. Gets back your monsters. Mirror Force, one of them because that's all they allow. Bottomless and Compulse. I'm not sure whether I want to change this Compulse to a Bottomless or I want to change this Bottomless to a Compulse, so I just run one of each. And so far it's been working. I mean, I only have to side it out like against 6 hands. I had to side out the Compulse. But other than that, they're pretty good. And then one Solemn Judgment because they try to do something on me, and I'm like, nope. Stopping you. Oh, by the way, if you can't see, I don't know if you can see, pink sleeves. Yeah, I switched them out because I have a Jigglypuff fetish. If you guys didn't know. Anyway, so now onto the extra deck. Actually, I have to organize this, so I might be just like going all around the world, being like, why is this in there? Why is this over 16? Okay, I think it's good enough. Side that out. For my instant fusion targets, I have Dragon, the Wicked Knight, Carbonella Warrior, and Reaper of the Nightmare. Because you get him out, Reaper of the Nightmare, and you think this is 5. Plus this is dark, so you can use dark some more food. I want to switch him out, but Carbonella Warrior, but I can't figure out any good thing to switch him out with. And Dragoness is wind food. Alright, I have to find the other one. There we go. 2 Ancient Fairies. This, with your field spell, sets up a lot of your plays. Because, first of all, it gets you health back. And then, if you're in a really bad position, like, for example, they have a 3k beater on the field, set him in defense, and then you can use this first effect to special summon a monster like Blast Fan and get a Birdman to your hand, and then find out some play from there, because you really want a Birdman in your hand. Locomotion Argenix. This card never fails me. You have to have this card in your deck. I mean, this card has just won me a Lone Star duel on its own because I stole their BLS. If you don't know what he does, he pretty much steals their highest star monster on the field when he's synchro summoned. Wow, I love him. You can get him by Chaos Orc and Birdman, and he's worth it because you Chaos Orc, Birdman. Chaos Orc removes something, sync for locomotion, steal their other monster, attack, bam, ram. Triforce. I wanted to run 2, but my extra deck was getting a little big. Here's my second one. I don't know. I have to edit my extra deck a little bit. He's good because he gets my worms back, and if I actually do Carbonella Warrior, then they can't use your back row. Brio. I actually got a Brio. Bryonic, I don't care how you pronounce it. He's the Ice Barrier guy who wins games. The level 6 that wins games. Arcanine Magician. I actually have 2 ways to get him out, which is pretty weird, seeing how I'm a supposed Gen X Worms Chaos thing. Stardust. Yeah, I'm not even going to explain him. Black Rose. Not even going to explain him. I don't remember if this is actually my extra deck, but Mistworm, because he's a wind, I can use him for a Dark Simorgh. And his effect just pushes everything back to the hand. So they're like he's pretty much like, hey, I want to I don't know, put 2 back row and your monster back into your hand. And then if they bottomless, okay, whatever, bottomless, they get out Chaos Sorcerer and like Rape and stuff. It's still good. I mean, until I get a Trish, he's my backup. And then Exceeds, Levier, because he can get back to remove from play Birdman and stuff. That's not supposed to be there. Leviathan, because he's just a beat stick. I mean, really, what else would you run him? He's just a beat stick. Utopia. I get him out every game. If I had 2, I would run 2. Don't have 2, run 1. You know, it's just how it goes. Okay, here's my OTK, and I love it. If they can't stop it, that's game. I have to have these 3 cards in my first hand. Thunderbird, Birdman, and Divine Wind. Alright, here's what you do. Divine Wind, right? You put it in your field spell location. The back. Field spell, right? Grr. Divine Wind. Then you go Thunderbird. Bounce back to my hand for Birdman. He gets specialed. And then I get a special summon. Where is it? Blast Fan. And Blast Fan's effect, I get to put a Birdman to my hand. Ta-da! Birdman to my hand. Sync. He gets removed. Blast Fan just goes to the grave. And I get out Ancient Fairy. Ancient Fairy pops the field spell. And I get another field spell into my hand, which then I play on the field. And then I use Thunderbird for Birdman. Thunderbird gets back on the field. I get another monster. And obviously I'm going to choose Blast Fan again to give me another Birdman. And yeah, from there you do another Ancient Fairy. This is getting very confusing for my... Yeah, it gets very confusing when you start like playing in real life. 2 Ancient Fairies, Thunderbird, and you got another Birdman in your hand. You go Birdman for, and in this valley, Thunderbird again. You got out your last Blast Fan. Blast Fan puts... Actually, you don't have another Birdman. So by the time you do that, you're about stuck. This can be traded for a Thunderbird. Your last wind monster, Thunderbird or Blast. It depends on which one you want to go to. I'll just use Blast Hand just to show you what will happen. I will get these 2 to Exceed to get out Levier. Levier will toss either one. I would recommend Birdman in case you have Darksome Morgue or you're going to get Darksome Morgue. And then you get a Birdman removed from play. Then you sync these 2 for level 7, preferably Arcanite Magician. But what you can do Triforce if you want more attack, but it's only like 100 more attack. Arcanite Magician, attack mode, defense mode, your choice, depending on how many cards they have in their field. I'll put them in defense mode, because I can. Actually, yeah, I wouldn't even do that. If it's the first turn, and I suspect they don't have anything, I would go Triforce and attack, poke, and whatever. But you know what? Arcanite Magician. And that would OTK right there. Okay, now let's say instead of Blast Fan, you were to use Thunderbird. What would happen? You would get Birdman and Thunderbird to Exceed for Levier. Levier would use his effect, dumb Birdman, for a Birdman. And then you sync for 6, or you can get Leviathan. Oh yeah, that's actually true. You can either Exceed for Leviathan, or you can sync for Brio. I would go for Brio, in case they have anything on their field. But I could go Leviathan, you know. Bang. And that's how you OTK with this deck. Congratulations. If you've never played me before, you now know what to do when I get my deck out. And this look how much is in your grave. Okay, one of them is actually removed from play, but Look how much is in your grave. If you get Dark Simorgh in your hand first turn, that's game. They can't do crap. Sure, they can Battle Fader and Dark Hole, but if they don't Battle Fader, then that's game. So Dark Hole doesn't really even matter. Torrential could stop me. Effect Failure really does stop me. Torrential and Effect Failure dick to this deck. If you're ever versing this deck, I would recommend Thunder King, because that kind of screws me over. What else is there? Other than that, like, it depends all on what's in your hand, I guess. If you want to take out some cards, go ahead, tell me about it, tell me what to add, tell me what to take out. Just don't be a dick about it, you know. Because this deck actually has won me games, but, you know, if it was unbeatable, then yay, but no, it's not. The thing is that it uses its resources pretty quickly, so if you're one of those people who like to have a hand in the middle of the game, probably not the deck for you. If you're one of those people who like fun decks, this is probably for you. If you're one of those people who like OTKs, this might be for you. Yeah. Thank you, Pink Sleeves. And I'm also making the Ice Barrier deck, so I'll probably put up a deck profile for that soon enough. Anyway, this is Banjo-Kazooie Fan 3 here, saying, hope you enjoy my deck. And